Hello again, loved ones. I literally just made a video, so we'll call this part two. I just made a video about how we allow distractions to divert our attention and subsequently our energy away from the things that we need to be focusing on. I used the example of because where attention goes, energy flows. And I use the example of like professional athletes and how we get so wrapped up in, or people get so wrapped up in how much money they're making and just what's going on in their lives and all that. And by doing that, we are diverting our attention away from our own lives and what we are trying to be doing in our own lives. Now, one thing that we do know, especially those of us who, when we start getting into the science of consciousness or the nature of reality and things like that, one thing that we have kind of come to know is that only about 5% of our, waking state is where we are actually conscious. Meaning 95%, and this is just a statistic that's probably not completely accurate, but whatever. Point is, about 95% of our everything is subconscious. In that, if you really, and we used to set alarms on our phones for like every hour or 2 hours or whatever. And I think this is a great practice, and I probably need to get back to it. But anyway, and we call it's an awareness alarm. By we, I mean Kitty and I. And we've talked about it on the podcast in the past. But an awareness alarm, every hour, 2 hours, 3, whatever you think is right. But when this alarm goes off on your phone, that's when you center yourself. You bring yourself into the moment and just realize, okay, I am. Because a lot of times when you do that, you may think back on, say, the last 2 hours since the last time you did this or whatever, and realize you were completely unconscious. It's like, I don't really know what I did the last 2 hours. I was completely on autopilot. And that it's nothing, I'm not picking on anybody. We all do it. In fact, if we could get from the 5% of being conscious and aware to just up to 10%, that would be pretty significant. But if we could even increase that, let's say to 20%, to where we're 20% conscious, 20% we are fully aware and in the moment, that would be amazing, really. But that's kind of where we get, when we kind of get outside of our heads. And I understand we have to be at work, and a lot of times things just turn into automatic, autopilot. And then kind of getting back to the distractions. Like, there are so many distractions that we can get wrapped up in. It's like you can sit and watch, like, I know people who can sit and watch an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of TV and never once have a thought. Yeah, you may laugh and you might think that's funny, and then the person sitting there, yeah, that was great, wasn't it? Yeah, that was funny. Things like that. But you're never really fully here. Or however you want to look at it. And we are conscious beings. Or at least we should be, right? I think outside of this, we are. Our higher selves are. And in this avatar, in this body, inside the construct, or whatever you want to call it, in the world, in the universe, it doesn't matter. Whatever your belief is there, that's not what's important. When we recenter ourselves and realize, I am. Those two words, I am, are the most powerful words ever. Because it says it all. Whenever you really center yourself and just say, I am, that's when we become aware of the fact that, hey, I am right here. I'm bringing it back in. All my attention's gone over here. It's everywhere. And then again, it's nowhere. Because I'm not even thinking, really. I'm just reacting. So when we stop reacting to everything around us and we separate ourselves from it and just observe. But we observe consciously. See, that's kind of what it really is all about. We need to consciously observe what's going on. And if you just, and you can envision yourself just standing outside, just kind of like you're taking a step outside of your body. And, just hover a few feet. I like using the 30,000 foot view as a reference, but whatever. The point is, step outside of yourself and just kind of observe. Observe your body. Observe what's going on around you. Maybe stop and kind of focus on your heartbeat and think, yep. And what's amazing is those are things that are happening all the time we don't have to pay attention to. That's part of the subconscious part, and that's fine. That's necessary. We wouldn't want to be 100% conscious because then we may have to tell our heart to beat every couple seconds or whatever. I don't know. That was just a little sidebar. But anyway, I like to encourage you to step outside yourself every so often. Whatever you feel like, 1 hour may be a little hard to do. But it doesn't have to be some big, profound moment. It can only take you a few seconds. But every hour or 2 hours or whenever, have that little alarm go off. Just buzz and be like, okay. And take a deep breath and just bring yourself in. And just maybe say, I am. And at best, you could do the thing like step outside yourself and just observe. Just observe yourself for just a few minutes, a few seconds. I understand if you're at work or if you're driving or whatever. You can't have some big profound moment all the time, but it doesn't have to be. See, a lot of people think that everything has to be, with regards to spirituality or anything, it has to be some big profound, rays of light beaming down from the sky, some big profound moment. It doesn't. It's really simple. Just bring yourself in, center yourself, realize I am, and observe, not as a participant, as just someone who's outside observing. And it's amazing because then that's when you start focusing your attention back on yourself and back on the things that matter to you. That's all. So anyway, I just want to kind of add that on there. And yeah, I'll go down the little conspiracy theory rabbit holes. Oh yeah, I'll do it. And as far as what kind of distractions are out there in the world and why, yeah, there's lots of distractions out there. And yeah, I do believe that in some cases there may be by design and maybe even having something sinister behind it. In other words, some way to focus your attention on their cause. But that is them not respecting you as a sovereign individual. But anyway, that's a whole other subject. But we can go there. I mean, that's fine. But really, my point is just step outside yourself and observe and ask yourself what matters to your cause, to your growth. And yes, helping other people grow can help. I'm not saying not to help other people. Please understand. Sometimes it does matter. Sometimes you do need to direct your attention to other people's causes to help them grow. And that will help you. But just ask yourself what matters. Does this matter? Anyway, loved ones, I'm not going to ramble. I just kind of wanted to put that part in there about the observing yourself. Observe, the awareness alarms. So, okay. Please like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I'm not going to do another one. Or maybe I will. I don't know. Anyway, I love you, and I'll be back directly.